Our first session for today is Best Practices in STEM Outreach. Really interesting topic by Josephine Wangari Maina. I hope I pronounced it correctly. She's a STEM enthusiast, and we're so eager to listen to her speech. So, Josephine, welcome. The floor is yours.
Hello, everyone, once again. I'm really excited to be your first speaker today, and thank you for this opportunity. I'm Josephine Wangari Maina, a third year student at Dedan Kimathi University of Technology, pursuing Bachelor of Science in Telecommunication and Information Engineering. Apart from that, I'm an IEEE student member at the Kenya Section Region 8, and I'm also the PES chair at Kimathi University of Technology, and a very, very proud woman in STEM. So, before we delve into some of the best practices in STEM outreach, I think I will outline first what is the importance of STEM outreach, because I think this is important to really say it out. And yeah, some of the points I have, there are many, many importances of STEM outreach, but I have tried to outline the key points. So, we'll start by the
Josephine,
first
can you
one.
share can you share your slides? I don't think they're up yet.
Oh, okay. Uh, So yeah,
Very good.
we'll start. We'll start by outlining some of the importances of STEM outreach, and one of them is inspiring the next generation. This point is very, very key to me, and this is what mainly made me to get into STEM, because I I finished high school and I got the thrill to inspire the ones I left behind. And so it's really important because you expose these young minds to STEM fields, and this will ignite their passion and curiosity, encouraging them to pursue careers in these areas. Another point is promoting diversity and inclusion. We do this by going to talk about STEM in underrepresented communities, especially here in Kenya. We target the schools that are in the rural areas, so because those are the schools that don't really get to know about STEM. So to promote the diversity, we go to the schools in the rural areas, and also we target girls schools, because most of the girls here, really, some of them believe that STEM is only for boys, and we really have to go to those schools and encourage them that STEM is for everyone and it's not only for a certain gender. Another point is filling the STEM pipeline. We need experts in this field. So when we go to talk to the students about STEM, it really helps out, because when once they graduate and come to university, they take up these courses and they become experts in these STEM fields. Another point is improving problem solving and critical thinking skills. STEM really helps us gain these skills, and that is the power of it. Another point is it increases the global engineering workforce, and hence really brings up this motto, our motto, advancing technology for humanity. And before I go on to the next slides, the photos that I have attached below show some of the schools that we have gone to, the girls' schools that we have gone to, and yeah, it shows that. So I'll move on to the next slide. So some of the challenges in STEM outreach, I've felt that it's really important to outline some of these challenges, because most of us, almost all of us here have maybe gone through these challenges, and maybe I'll try to outline how we try and counter them. So one is lack of resources. We find that here in Kenya, most of the schools, they lack these equipments, lack funding, and hence they don't even know what STEM is. They lack these STEM equipments, the funding. They really don't have a clue about what STEM is. So what we try to do is that when we go to these high schools, we try and carry our own maybe components, our Arduino kits, and go and showcase some projects to them, because to them in that school they're not enough. So we carry ours, go and showcase, and out of that, most of them will have known what STEM is. Another challenge is stereotypes and bias. You find that most of them, especially in the girls' school, you tend to, when, okay, like last week, but when I was in a girls' school and I asked them how many would like to join STEM. I told them what STEM is and I asked them that question, and really maybe one or two raise their hands up because they think that this is not their field, it's a field for boys. So when we go there, we really try and encourage them to come into these fields once they're through with their high school, to come and join us. Even when they're in high school, they can still learn about Arduinos. Even if they don't have the equipment, they can still use YouTube and learn some of these things, learn some of these coding projects, coding languages. Yeah. Another challenge is limited access to STEM programs and opportunities. As I have said, these students don't get those opportunities as much, especially in the rural areas. So we try as much, in an year, several times we go to those schools, different schools in the rural areas. And actually, we have gone to a school and we really encouraged them about this, and they started doing projects. And actually, one of the team was able to go to South Africa to showcase their projects, just because of going to that school and preaching about STEM really helped them out. So yeah, another challenge is misconceptions about STEM. So you get, same thing, you get, they hear that STEM is difficult. STEM is, you can't really go into that field as a girl, that is what most of them think. So when we go to these high schools, we always go as a team of student mentors, and we ensure that in our team there is gender balance, so that if you're going to a girls school, you get that these girls will see us and actually get encouraged that they can come into these fields, because most of them, we have like an age gap of 3 years, so they get really encouraged. Another challenge is competitive nature of STEM fields. Most of them think that this is difficult, but we try and encourage them that yes, it is difficult, but you can still make it. You can still strive and make it in this STEM field. So those are the challenges and the importances of STEM outreach. And I think now we can go into some of the best practices in this field. So one of them is engaging students. And how do we engage students? One is by hands-on learning and use of visual aids. You find that once we go to those schools, we even carry some slides, show them some of the things we do here in university. And also, when we go there, we carry some of our Arduino kits, some of our projects that we have done under STEM, and we go showcase it to them, and also interact with them and let them interact with those projects. And as you can see in one of the images in my slides, some of the students there are actually being shown a coding project, and they are very, very interested. Another practice in engaging students is fostering curiosity, asking open-ended questions. And one thing we do in mentorships here is that we carry like some branded items, like some pens, so that when we go there and ask them questions, when they answer, we give them like a pen. So it really encourages most of them to think about the questions we are asking in STEM and to really try and answer. Another Another point is making connections to real world applications, because you find that these students don't really know the how STEM applies to the real world. So we really try to show them how STEM relates to the students' interest and their daily lives. And another point is connecting STEM professionals with students. This really helps out because I'm a student, and when we go with a STEM professional to some of these mentorships, these students are able to see someone who is in the industry, because I'm a student and we need to bring someone who is in the industry for these students to get motivated. Another practice in STEM outreach is addressing diversity and equity. And how do we address this? Making STEM accessible to all students. Students from underrepresented groups Also the well represented, we can't forget about them. So but our main target is the underrepresented groups, schools in the rural areas, schools that do not have access to these resources. So another point, creating inclusive environments regardless of the background or ability, not categorizing people, ensuring that there is that inclusive environment for everyone to feel comfortable to come into this field. Another is diverse role models, showcasing STEM professionals from various backgrounds to inspire these students. And the last one in addressing diversity and equity is partnering with organizations focused on equity. We actually do that here. Sometimes when you go to these mentorships, we go with some of the organizations that are really focused on equity. Another best practice is building partnerships, collaborating with schools and districts to align outreach programs with curriculum goals. So why we do this? Because maybe in you can find, of course, the curriculum in Kenya is maybe different from other countries. So here we actually collaborate with those schools, know whatever these students learn, and we try to align STEM in their way so that they can even easily understand and relate, so that it can't be an ancient thing to them. The second point is partnering with community organization. This really helps us because it helps leverage those resources, and the resources that are not in the schools, we are able to talk with those community organizations to actually provide these resources to the schools. And also we are able to reach a wider audience. Another point is engaging with industries. When we engage with these industries, we're even able to get STEM professionals to come with us to the mentorship programs, and they're able to motivate these students to come into these fields. And this is a photo of a mentorship that happened last week, but one. And these students were really eager to know what STEM is, because I asked them about STEM and they didn't know. But after I explained and asked them again, do you really want to get into this field? Almost more than 50% raised their hands up. And I was really happy about that. Another best practice in STEM outreach is learning from others. This is very important because we all learn from each other. And when I find another mentorship enthusiast, I get to know what they know and they get to know what I know. In that exchange, I'll be able to do a better mentorship outreach once I go again. Learning from each other is really, really important, and that to me is very key. And in this photo, we are all these are mentorship enthusiasts, the group that we go with. And some of them in that group, I never saw them until that day. So we really got to interact with them, exchange those ideas. They got to tell me what practices they do, some of the things they do when they go to other places, which is very, very important because you get to improve on how you conduct your STEM outreach. Another good practice is measuring impact and evaluation, setting goals. And once you're done with your mentorship of that day, you go back to the goals and actually check if you have accomplished those goals. And if not, you're able to think of why you weren't able to accomplish those goals. For me, doing that is really important because you even get some of the places you go and you're not able to reach your goal, maybe because it's a rural area, very rural setup, and they know nothing about STEM. So even some of your goals, you're not even able to achieve them because maybe you thought that when you go there, they actually know about STEM. Another point of measuring impact is data collection, gathering feedback and data to assess the effectiveness of the program. One thing, after the mentorship program, the mentorship of STEM, when you go to those schools, at the end, because we go for a full day, we go like 6 or 7 hours in the school just to tell them about STEM and to showcase our projects, let them interact with these projects. So at the end of the day, you get like to ask like a few students of how the mentorship was it really beneficial to them, did they really get to learn what STEM is and understand what it is, did it spark curiosity. You get to collect all that data and really get to know how you did that mentorship. Because as well, as much as you can go to a mentorship, you can still go and not really have an impact to the students. So it's really important to know how you did your mentorship, and if it was acceptable to the student, if the students accepted the mentorship well. Another, all that measuring impact and evaluation helps in improvement, because as I can say that the first mentorship of STEM that I went to is still the same one, as I'm still the same person right now, because I've gone a couple of STEM mentorship programs, and I think I've learned over time. So I keep on improving. The first mentorship I went, I really didn't know much about telling students about STEM. It was all new to me, but as time goes by, I got to improve because of what I got to see, measuring my impact. Yeah. So that's all. I've really tried to go through the slides as fast as I could, because there was some 10 minutes wasted somewhere. So yeah, that's it. I'm really grateful for this chance, and thank you. Yeah, I hope
So,
you enjoy.
Josephine, we have a couple questions for you from our
Yeah.
participants. So, the first one is, what could be possible effective strategies for engaging underrepresented groups in STEM outreach programs? So, they're looking for some strategies you've used.
Okay, for engaging the underrepresented groups, what we do is that we go to those schools physically and we carry our projects with us. Because you get those underrepresented groups don't even really have these equipments, or they have never seen STEM anywhere before. So we try and carry our projects, and also as we go there, because I've said that we go for like 6 hours in a day. So we start by telling them what STEM is first, because we target like 1,000 students. So we first tell them what STEM is. My team talks to the students, all of them, and then after that session, we go into a breakout session. All the students go form teams. They form teams of like maybe different streams, different classes, and now we each go and present projects to them. That is better because you get to engage with the students one on one, and it's a smaller group of students rather than the big 1,000 students that you were talking to earlier. So breaking down them into groups, and then after some time we exchange teams. I go to a class that I wasn't sent to in the first time. So you really get, these students really get to know what STEM is thoroughly. Yes, I think I've answered the question.
Yes, we've got more questions for you.
Uh-huh.
So, the next one is, what resources or tools have you found most helpful in your STEM outreach efforts?
Some of the tools, Arduino, that one is a good one, because most students get really they they're actually attracted to the Arduino. You know, Arduino is interesting. So these are some of the basic tools, because once we are going to these students, we can't really introduce complex topics in the first day, because some of these schools we don't even go twice. We go like once and then we're in another school. So as that first time, we really try and go with some easy projects that they will be able to understand, that will really engage them, and that will make it interesting. We can't really take the complex ones and just go and give it to them, because they will now see that it is even more difficult and difficult. So what we try to do is, the Arduino, I think it's simple and it's really interesting for students. So that is what we really try and carry. Most of our projects are Arduino based, so that is what we go with. And of course, there are different projects. Yeah.
Okay, we've got more questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are the key components of a successful hands on STEM workshop for middle school students?
Um, I've really not gone to middle school children.
So, that's usually
I've,
age. I'm trying to think of what the age would be, like 11 to 13 or 11 to 14 or so.
hmm. Ask the question again because I
Um,
we
so,
target from 14 to 17, the
okay,
ones
so
that are almost joining university.
So do you think the Arduino would be good for a little bit younger student? Maybe we ask
Yes,
that question. So
yes,
that
yes.
might be a good a hands-on activity. The word I'm looking for, hands-on activity for that age group. So that middle school age group, which is just below the age group that you're outreaching to.
It's actually Arduino will be nice because we have the simplest projects of Arduino, like the LED, you know. So it will really be also interesting to them. The thing is, if it's a first time going to a school that hasn't been introduced to STEM, just carry the simplest project, something that they'll be able to understand at first. Because if you take the complex ones, they will really get confused. Maybe they don't know about it, so it will really be boring to them. So for a first time, even if it's 11 years to 14, carry something that is relatable to them. If it's an Arduino, do the projects that they can relate to. Yeah.
So I think during your presentation, you must have referred to some challenges, and
Yes, yes.
someone might want to know. They would like to know how you've overcome those challenges.
Oh, um, let me go back to my slides. So all these the challenges that I've listed here, should I say all of them?
Sure, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So this lack of resources, as I had said, lack of resources comes into the school. So you get that wherever you are going, the school doesn't have enough equipment, enough STEM equipment. So what we do, we try now and carry our own projects from the university and go with them to that school. Especially Arduino, because it's portable, we go with them to that school and introduce them to STEM. So that is how we counter that challenge. So this other challenge, stereotypes and bias. There's a lot of bias in STEM that it's not a field for girls, it's only a field for boys. So what we do as we are going, especially if it's a girls' school, because I go with a team of other students to mentor these high school students. So what we do is that in our group, we ensure that there's gender balance, both women, both men, gender balance, so that when these girls see us, they are able to understand that also girls can be in this field. So that's how we counter this problem of girls feeling that they're not able to get into this field, but at least by as time goes by, things are changing. Yeah. The third challenge, limited access to STEM programs and opportunities. We really even try to partner with community organizations so that these community organizations may even fund the school, bring resources to the school. So that is what you can do to counter this limited access to STEM programs. Another one is misconceptions about STEM. Same thing as I've said, it's only for girls. Um, if you're from, because some people think that if you're from an underrepresented community, you can't do STEM. So whatever we do, for the STEM professionals going to talk to them, we really must include the diversity for some of the professionals to come from all backgrounds so that even these students can relate with them. The competitive nature of STEM fields. Now, how we counter this is that for us, when we go to those schools, you find that those students, there may be, we have maybe a 2 or 3 year age gap. And because they know that STEM fields are competitive, we are able to convince them that as much as it is competitive, it is not impossible. And they can see us that we are still young as them and we are still in these fields. We are able to tell them it's not impossible. So that's how we counter it. Yeah. I think those
Thank
are
you.
all the challenges. There might be many other challenges that come by, but it's nice to find a solution to them and also show these students that STEM fields are great. Yeah.
So we've got one more. It's kind of a comment and then also a
Mm-hmm.
question. So,
Okay.
dear Josephine, thank you for your very inspiring talk. I was wondering whether you were able to share your STEM program experience and data in any journals or magazines.
I can actually do that. And also thank you for the comment.
So you're thinking about doing that. You haven't done it yet.
I haven't done it yet because I've gone to a lot of this mentorship STEM, and some of them they even programs that my friends have tried to come up with. So I just go and see whatever they are doing. So I've really gone to a lot. But for the ones that I have held, maybe two. But the ones that I've gone to, like four, five, yeah.
So I just want to
So
put
I've
one
not
more
really
comment.
thought about documenting. Mm-hmm.
I want to put one more comment up here because I want you to see everybody's very happy about your presentation. So here's a comment that someone made.
Thank you. I'm really happy about this. It's very interesting.
So fantastic job. I'm going to bring Stamatis up on screen and he's going to wrap up our session. So thank you, Josephine, for presenting. If you have time to stay backstage a little bit, we would like to talk to you after the session.
Okay, it's okay. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you. Thank you.